Today's lesson is on how to divide rational numbers. The volume of water in a rain barrel decreased by 4 and 5/8 gallons in 4 minutes. What will be the change in the volume of the water after 1 minute? Take a minute to copy down the question. If we need to find, we're looking for the unit rate. So we have to divide our 4 and 5/8 gallons by the 4 minutes. In order to divide rational numbers and divide fractions, we need to turn our mixed number into an improper fraction. In order to do that, I'm going to multiply 8 by 4, which gives me 32, and I'm going to add 5, which then gives me 37. So I have 37/8 divided by 4. In order to divide fractions, I need to have both numbers be fractions. 38/7 is a fraction. I need to turn this 4 into a fraction. In order to turn 4 into a fraction, I'm going to make it 4/1. Now that I want to divide, I'm going to keep my numerator, 38/7. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of my denominator. My denominator is 4/1, so the reciprocal of that is 1/4. Now, this is the same as yesterday's lesson. I am multiplying these rational numbers, these two fractions. I can multiply straight across. 37 times 1 is 37. 8 times 4 is 32. I do not like having my final answer as an improper fraction, so I'm going to turn it into a mixed number. 32 goes into 37 1 times. My denominator of 32 is going to stay. When the 32 goes into 37 1 time, there's going to be 5 left over. So it's 1 and 5/32 gallons. And since the rain water decreased, this is going to be a negative number. So I have -1 and 5/32 gallons. The second question is 2 parts. We're going to do the first one, and then we're going to do the second one. The first one, we have -3/5 divided by 4 and 1/6. Again, when you're dividing or multiplying fractions, you need both fractions to be improper fractions. -3/5 can stay as a fraction. 4 and 1/6, I need to turn that into an improper fraction. To do that, I'm going to multiply, and then I'm going to add the numerator. 4 times 6 gives me 24, plus 1 gives me 25. And my denominator stays as 6. Now to divide these fractions, my -3/5 is going to stay. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator, which is 6/25. Just like the lesson from yesterday, this negative sign can go to the 3 or it can go to the 5. I'm going to put it with the 3. We have -3/5 times 6/25. Now, I can just multiply across the denominators. 3 times -6. -3 times 6 gives me -18. 5 times 25 gives me 125. Now I have to look to see if I can reduce my fractions. You always need to reduce your fractions. There are no numbers that go into 18 and 125, So my answer can stay as negative 18 over 125. You also do not like to have the negative sign with a specific number. So my final answer is going to be negative in the front, 18 over 125. The second question, negative 9 over 10 divided by 3 over 10. This is the same process, just written in a different way. Our first two problems, we had a division bar, a fraction bar to represent division. Now we have the actual division symbol. Since I have a fraction, I need to make sure both of them are in improper form. Both fractions are good to go. I'm going to keep my negative 9 over 10. My division sign is going to change to a multiplication, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal 10 over 3. So the reciprocal is just flipping the fraction. The numerator goes to the denominator goes to the numerator. When your division is written out in this form, the first fraction is a fraction that's in your numerator, so that's the one that stays. And you take the reciprocal of the second fraction. I can reduce this before I even start my multiplication. 10 and 10, both of those can turn into 1s. I could turn this 3 into a 1. I could turn this 9 into a 3. So now I have negative 3 over 1 times 1 over 1. Since I put the negative with the numerator in the previous one, this time I'm going to put the negative with the denominator. Could go with either one. Times 1 over 1. Now I can multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. 3 divided by negative 1 is equal to negative 3.